the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and folks, we got our special guest here today. He's a 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. You haven't seen him in a while. Last time you saw him was our draft show last week, probably. This guy's gentleman. He's just an all-around good guy, and glad to have him back on the program. Glad he's slumming it with us again here. Dale Hellestrae, everybody.
Wow, Steve, what a rousing welcome back. I texted you last night. You said, well, you can come in if you want. You don't need to. We don't need you.
I'm not going to force you to come
in. Nobody's
in.
Missed you. Nobody's asked about you.
I didn't say any of that.
Yeah, but
I implied it.
I did what Steve McCollum does best.
I implied it.
I read between the lines.
Yeah. Okay, I am passed out of sleep yesterday, folks. Just passed out of sleep.
Yeah?
And I'm getting all stuffy. I don't know if this is allergies or something else, but my throat hurts. I've been talking a lot this week. All of that. So I was just like, you know what? I got nothing going on. Got home early from the event. I'm like, I'm just going to take a quick nap. I had one of those. I woke up and thought I missed the bus for school, and stuff. One of those naps.
Okay.
And I got these texts from some guy going, do you still have a show? And I'm like, what are you implying right now? The place doesn't shut down because you're not here, Tiger.
I don't know. Could have. I mean, I'm pretty important to the show, even though my name's not on it.
Name's all over the place. What are you talking about? Yeah, we got to figure out how to get on the top there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but.
Yeah, so that's it. So then I'm just like, I'm not in the mood to deal with this right now, this neediness of Dale. So I'm like, come in if you want to.
Yeah. I don't care. We don't need you, but if you
I
want to come in.
I just said, be nice to see you. Just come on in if you want.
No, you never said that.
I didn't say that.
No.
I didn't say that.
Right before we came on the air, I chuckled to myself.
He did.
Because I saw this article, mock drafts already linking the Cardinals in 2027 to a first-round quarterback.
I talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, there we go. Boy, oh boy, oh
Cardinals'
boy.
number 1 draft pick, according to some dude from ESPN. Mel Kiper has him as the number 2 pick, but they're both taking quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The number 1 pick quarterback is Arch Manning.
Yeah.
If they're number 2, they take the kid from Moore from Oregon.
Dante Moore.
Yeah. Those are the common themes here.
Wow.
Which just brings me to my bigger point. You weren't here on Monday, but I'd like to thank the rest of the media world for getting on my bandwagon here.
Oh, okay.
Carson Beck's going to be a starter this year. Carson Beck's going to get a ton of time to play this year. I had this whole thing on Monday, Dale. Blueprint. We'll talk more about it tomorrow because today you take off early.
Yeah.
I'll fill you in on it later on and what we said on Monday and everything. But this just shows more. If you're going to have the number 1 pick, why are you throwing Jacoby Brissett or Gardner Minshew out there all season long? Why? If you're going to only win 1 or 2 games, get Carson Beck out there and see what he can do. He's got the pedigree to win. He's got the pedigree to be there in a championship game and have the lead when he goes off the field. He's played at Georgia. He's played in pro-style systems. Why not see what the kid's got? This isn't like you've got, dare I say, Shedeur Sanders or somebody to that effect. That's not as accomplished in college. And if you're going to have the number 1 or number 2 pick anyway, throw them out there.
Well, the thing is, and I can see this scenario since it's been brought up. Obviously, I think it's a little bit too early to talk about it, but I've always been told, and when I played, it's really hard to sell an entire roster on, hey, we know we're going to suck.
Yes.
And we're going to have a top 5 pick next year.
Yes.
So why not play the guy who we drafted in the 3rd round?
Okay, but here's the difference. So this is where I'm looking at it differently. You can tell me this differently or not. I've been waiting for you to come back to talk about this. We'll go more in depth on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you know where you're going with Jacoby Brissett. You know where you're going with Gardner Minshew. I like both of them as quarterbacks, but you're not winning 10, 11, 12 games with those guys. You're not. You're not.
You don't think you can win 7 or 8?
Okay.
Maybe 9?
Then you get a young kid in here that's proven a winner in college.
No.
And then you go, to me as a fan, now I'm not in the locker, but as a fan, the only excitement I have about this season, watching Jeremiah Love and Carson Beck and see what they can do.
So you're saying that they're going to kind of take after the New York Giants?
Well, I use the Bo Nix model. Remember, Bo Nix was in the SEC, had a lot of success there. Transfers out, goes to Oregon, has some success there. Boom. Denver Broncos fits that system, which Carson Beck fits the system that their coach is going to run. Boom. We got our guy that can run our system. Young guy, put him out there and see what happens. And I don't know. The difference between the Broncos and the Cardinals, though, is the Broncos have one of the best defenses in the league.
Well,
Cardinals do not.
And the division that they play in.
That's a tough division, though.
I mean,
You got the Chiefs.
Yeah. Chiefs have slipped a little bit, but you also got the Raiders.
Yeah. Well, they're terrible.
And the Chargers, I know, made the playoffs,
Decent.
but
yeah,
they're
I mean,
not
better than average.
But they're not 12, 13 win.
I'm not
team.
saying that Carson Beck's going to come in and dominate. I'm just saying all the signs
Yeah.
are pointing towards what the Cardinals should do. But aren't you more excited as a fan? Now, in the locker room, you might be right. But come on, this locker room knows, like, I like Jacoby Brissett as much as anybody. But you're not going and winning. I don't even know if you can win 7 or 8 with him. Now, it's a new offense, so maybe you can.
Or maybe he doesn't fit it.
Well, that's the other side of it.
You know, maybe he doesn't.
Go back to the pre-draft interview where they're talking about a quarterback, big school, big-time player, played in big moments. We all thought they were talking about Ty Simpson. It fits Carson Beck as well.
It does. And I guess since we're talking about it in April still, I would say
Shoot my shot, man.
I guess I could see a point where I haven't given a whole lot of thought that you start off with Jacoby Brissett.
You could do that.
You know, for the first 3, 4, 5 games and just see how it goes.
Yeah, if you're 1-3 and the offense isn't moving the ball.
That it makes it very easy. If you're 4-1.
Yeah, I'm in no way saying he's going to start the season as starter.
Right. Okay.
I think they're going to give him an opportunity to win the job.
Right.
But I'm not sure if he can do that. I'm not sure if you want him to do that because you might get beat up a little bit. But here's the other side of it. Why not have a young quarterback with a young running back in there?
Well, then that'd screw up all the mock drafts for next year.
Well, I'm okay with that because I do not want Arch Manning here. Maybe Arch Manning improves a ton this year, but as Arch Manning is today, you're drafting him for his name.
Yes, I 100% agree with you.
And I do not. That is not a good position to be in. I don't even. More in Oregon. He's another Oregon quarterback that's going to come into the league and be all right. Name the last Oregon quarterback that dominated. Bo Nix. But again.
He didn't dominate.
No, but
he had guys around him.
He had really good success, but he also came from an SEC school and moved up into that position and kind of grew from there. I don't know, Dale. That was my take. That was my draft takeaway while you were there.
Okay.
And the mock drafts are kind of leading you to that as well. Why are you going to play Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew if you're going to end up with the number 1 pick? Why?
Or top 2 or 3.
Yeah, why? You could still end up with it and give the kid a shot. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you.
If you're a fan, now take yourself out of the locker room. As a fan, what would you rather see? Because as a fan, I know what Jacoby Brissett can do. As a fan, I know what Gardner Minshew can do.
Right.
You know what I don't know? I don't know what Carson Beck can do. And he showed me, now keep in mind, I'm a huge Carson Beck fan from college years.
Yeah?
Huge fan.
Okay.
Guy just oozes success. Let's see what he can do. It worked with the Broncos. Why can't it work for the Cardinals? Well, that's an obvious answer. That's an obvious answer.
Why can't it work for the Cardinals?
So that's the big thing that came in on Monday and talked about a lot going into that. Of course, I've talked a lot of Live Golf this week. Live Golf officially, PIF is officially pulling their funding. You'll be lucky to see another Live Golf tournament this year. They've already canceled the New Orleans one. The governor of New Orleans pulled the plug on that.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not read about that.
That's going to be in June. And then now that it's official, PIF has pulled it. Now, they burn $100 million a month. The Live Tour does.
Did not realize it was that much.
You're not finding that much revenue.
No. In 6 weeks?
Before the end of this year for your season, you're not finding that much revenue, which means you're either shutting down, which they're doing. Here's the other problem I've been talking about as well around this, is now that people know the funding's being pulled, every tournament you go to is going to want their money up front. Every vendor. Hey, hot dog guy, you want to come work at the Live Tour? Sure. I'll take my money up front, please.
Right.
All of a sudden, all of what you can spend out 30, 60 days and pay it afterwards, All of a sudden, everybody's like, we ain't taking your rain check.
No.
We're not doing that. We know you don't have any money. So you're going to cash flow the front of this. The golfers don't want to be a part of it. Every golf tournament the golfers play in from here on out is another year minimum before they can get back on the PGA Tour.
That's what they have done so far.
They're just going off of that.
Yes.
So if you play in a tournament in September, you ain't playing on the PGA Tour until at least next September.
Right.
Whereas if you don't play in another one and you jump ship here in May, that means next May, you could still have 3/4 of the PGA season ahead of you.
Right.
So this is going to just fail miserably. Live Golf, in my opinion, is closing its doors. They're going to fight hard to do it. But if John Rahm and those guys do anything with the Live Tour, they're just prolonging how long they're before they can get back on the PGA Tour. And we're assuming a year. We don't even know that.
Well, the whole
coming up as well.
Again, what's so fascinating, we touched on it real quick before we came on the show, but the fact that it's one of those, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place if you're the PGA Tour. And by this, I mean, you obviously want to see, fans want to see John Rahm, and they want to see DeChambeau and guys like that. But at the same time, those guys went to a rival league. Mm-hmm. They didn't say, hey, I'm going to go run track. I'm going to go play basketball.
And they said disparaging things about your organization when they left. Maybe not directly.
Right.
But they said disparaging things about your organization.
And they took upwards of $100 million, and you're going to let them just come waltzing back.
But I told you, here's the other thing to keep in mind. PGA Tour has grown without those guys.
Yeah.
Do you need a John Rahm back? Do you need a DeChambeau back? Do you need them?
Here's the thing that nobody really talks about, and I don't think there's enough focus on it. But every athlete feels like, hey, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, when he retired, can the NBA continue on?
Will it survive?
Oh, well, you know what? Kobe Bryant comes along.
I know this is Hellestrae's thought about this program. Guy takes 3 days off, and he thinks we had to shut our doors.
I was hoping the lights are still flickering.
Barely.
Yeah.
They were barely.
But you always think, how on earth are you going to replace that guy?
Yeah.
And they've been replaced.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
you might take a step back, but you eventually come out of it and move on. Yeah.
Can you legally find these guys?
That's my question.
Can you say, hey, you're going to have to donate a chunk of money? You're going to. What is that going to be like? Because otherwise, if there's just say sit out 6 months because you won a major championship, which Rahm and DeChambeau have done, and you're a name, we want you back. Yeah. Without penalty.
Yeah, no, there's going to be a huge penalty.
And
it can't be what they just gave to Koepka, because they said, hey, you've got a month to decide if you want this Koepka deal, and they all said no.
Yep.
So that means now you can't go back on your words on that. Now it has to be a harsher penalty to come back, and that's what I mean by that. If John Rahm and them want to come back, you want that clock to start ticking immediately. Well, it could just be as simple as, all right, let me go earn my PGA card again. I'll go on the corner. There's still a ton of season left, and a guy like John Rahm should go earn his PGA card back playing on and then you can help your ratings on that lower tier too, Dale. Could you imagine the fans that would show up to BFE,
Rockford,
Nebraska?
Illinois,
Yes, for guys trying to make the PGA Tour, and you got a John Rahm in there.
Tour,
you got a DeChambeau there trying to play out this season so they can get back on the PGA Tour. You can even help your leagues by doing this if you're smart. I think it's amazing. Yeah. And you weren't planning on having them this year anyway. Nobody's watching Live.
No.
Nobody. So are you going to really miss them for the rest of this year? The problem's going to be going into next year is where you're going to be like, all right, where are these guys at? So that's why I think Live's shutting down pretty quickly here. Funding, even if they're being funded still till the end of the year, it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to want their money up front. Right? The cities are going to want their money.
Oh, yeah, you mean where the tournaments
the police officers, the security is going to want their money up front. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you can pay us in 60. Don't worry about it. That's fascinating. George Pickens signed his franchise tag. He was fighting this for a while there. He was supposed to sign it before the draft, decided not to, said he would, ended up not doing it. It's officially signed there right now. They will not negotiate a long-term deal, Jerry Jones said. but yet he said he has long-term plans for him. Again, keep in mind, they did this with Dak. They did it with CeeDee Lamb. They did it with Micah Parsons and eventually traded him. And then they just signed their punter, their kicker, like it was nothing. No fight whatsoever on that. Now you're going to fight with Pickens now as well. It is fascinating, the negotiating model that the Cowboys are doing.
It really is going to be interesting to see how Pickens responds. And again, I don't blame the Cowboys for doing this. It would scare me to death as a fan of the Cowboys, if I was a fan of the Cowboys, to sign this dude, Pickens, to a long-term deal and give him $100 million signing bonus, and now you're stuck with him, whereas now he's got to play good this year to get another deal.
And he's making $27.3 million.
It's not like, oh, you got a dirty diaper and some gum on the bottom of your shoe.
Hey, he's going to be all right. I got to take a drink here. Excuse me, folks.
Yeah.
On top of that. But it's just the negotiation thing of the Cowboys is just baffling to me right now.
He has cost himself a little bit more money, and I mean,
Well, that's the
talk
other side
about Jerry Jones.
The longer you wait to decide what you're going to do with Pickens, the more expensive he's going to be.
If, in fact, he has his head on straight and he plays well.
That's the question.
Yeah. And that would be the question for me. So,
yeah, what are they doing? Interesting. But also, he's playing these head games with them as well. Like I said, they were anticipating him signing it before the draft, and he was like, I'll come in and sign it. And then no-showed it, didn't sign it. And everybody's like, what's happening?
right.
It's fascinating. See what happens when you're gone? Cowboys go to the crapper.
No. They've been there for about 30 years, dude.
Don't forget, guys, Uncle Lou's coming up today as well. Follow us, of course, TME Media AZ on YouTube, Robot TV as well, for everybody out there. And look, it's a fun day. I got Dale back.
You got me for a little bit, which is just perfect for you, and then you got your boy Sweet Lou coming in.
I got a headache today, so just about enough of you to move on with my life.
I don't know. Don't you and Lou argue a little bit here and there?
Oh yeah. But I like Lou. That's
yeah. There you go.
Robert says, if you think you're only going to win 1 to 2 games, I wouldn't be playing Brissett more money either. But you're not going to be paying Brissett like millions of dollars more, But that's the other side of it that Robert brings up. They said, we're having good conversations with Brissett on his contract. Gardner Minshew's making about $1 million more guaranteed money signing as the backup to this team over Brissett. And he's the starter. He should ask for more money. Right? And things to that effect. But if you're going to pay Brissett $2 to $3 million, nobody's going to care. But I guarantee. Here's what I'll tell you: that I think the conversations are over. Cardinals are saying, "Oh, well, we'd love to pay you $4 or $5, $6 million, $8 million, but we're not doing incentive based."
Right.
And then he's going, "No, because you're going to play Jacoby. You're going to play Carson Beck. So I'm not interested in those incentives, sirs."
Wow.
So that Jacoby Brissett's contract situation, whether it's a long holdout or whether they, solve it early in the terms of it, that's going to also tell us the Cardinals' plans. I'm just telling you, folks, all fingers, all signs, everything is pointing to Carson Beck's going to get every opportunity to run this team this year. It's coming. Robert also says they went to a rival league and made the tour players more money. Nobody said more disparaging things than the tour leadership. Yeah, but they won. And
really, if you look back on it, the one guy who said the most at the outset was Phil Mickelson. And
he's not coming.
No, and everybody could care less whether he comes back or not. He's just tarnished his image and all that. And if you got $100 million, you trade.
He's probably gambling away by now, Dale.
Wow.
Most of the Live tournament guys are just going to end up on the DP World Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour, and places like that. The bigger question here is
the DP Tour. Yeah, that's the European one. Yeah.
They're going to end up on those tours. DeChambeau, Rahm, not Hatton. Is Hatton on that tour? Is he on the Live still?
Yeah.
Hatton, and then there's a couple other guys that won. some majors. The guy that won the major and then went to the tour, won the PGA or U.S. Open, and then went to the tour. I'm forgetting his name right now. But those core 5 or 6 guys are guys that you're going to pay attention to. Everybody else, they're just going to go, yeah, we don't care. You got to go to someplace else and go do your thing there. But like I said, that's the thing. The PGA Tour doesn't need Jon Rahm anymore. They've shown they don't need him. They don't need DeChambeau at all. You can play hardball with them if you want to.
Right.
Are you going to get that many more ticket sales to a ceiling or more eyeballs if Jon Rahm's playing on the PGA Tour? I don't think so. If DeChambeau's not playing this weekend on the PGA Tour, are you going to get more excited about that and watch it or pay attention to it? A few will, but not a huge amount.
Right.
Not a huge amount.
You're not going to get like this big bump in TV ratings.
Yeah, it's not like Tigers. It would be like if Tiger came back and everybody would be tuned in just to see that.
I mean, I just pulled up the Live money list for 2026. Jon Rahm's number 1, Bryson DeChambeau's number 2, and then that guy that I would not miss one golf shot from, Elvis Smiley, is 3. and then Anthony Kim, at least the guy you've heard of, is number 4.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Some big guys missing from that.
Yeah.
What's that kid's name? He's like British. He's got the whitish hair. Hatton's the Canadian. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting this kid's name. But he won like the U.S. Open or the PGA, and then like a week later he won it, and then a week later he was
the PGA,
and then he went off and joined Live as well. It's only 50.
Is it Cam Smith?
Cam Smith.
Yeah, he's 21st on the money list.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can live without him.
Boy,
what about Paul Casey, Charles Harold III?
They're all in their mid-40s. They're average golfers. Yeah, Charles Harold III's 28th on the money list.
I just pulled up all 57 players of the Live Golf Tour.
Right,
all 57 of them. Even Sergio Garcia, you can live without him.
Yeah,
Phil Mickelson, obviously. Lee Westwood, like Ian Poulter, older guys.
Yeah,
as well. Taylor Gooch.
Boy. There's only 2 guys you even care an ounce about are Rahm and DeChambeau.
Dustin Johnson's older.
Yeah, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't. He probably could just hang it up.
Yeah.
He's going to go hang out with Gretzky's daughter and his wife.
Well, wouldn't you?
Wait for Gretzky to go so you can just collect that money on top of it. You'll be good to go.
Wow.
No, that's my point. It's like even like if Cam Smith came back, you'd just be like, okay, who cares? Yeah, he won a major, but who cares? That's what they got. So that's the fascinating thing that you're dealing with right now, going forward. So I don't know.
How about before I get out of here, let's catch up for a couple things. Number 1, your son's got eliminated.
Yep. We'll get more in depth with Dale tomorrow.
Right.
He's here for the whole show tomorrow, so we'll get more in depth with his trip, hear how his trip went, everything. I do have an update on my discount tire situation. I've had a week, folks. I've kept it quiet so far because I know how much Dale loves to hear what's happened in the life of Steve. It's been a week. I've taken some beatings this week.
Really? Okay.
So we'll talk more about that tomorrow as well to give you the preview. And
discount tire.
Oh no, it's there.
Okay.
You hear this? Stuck on the freeway the other day, waiting for the tow to come.
You mean unlike me when I pulled over to the side and changed my tire and got in here? I don't have a
spare tire, man.
And got in here 15 minutes late?
I didn't have a spare tire.
Cars whipping by me, my big butt sticking out in the freeway.
First of all, you were in a parking lot. I know which parking lot you were in. It's a large parking lot off the side of the road. You're good. So we'll have that tomorrow. We'll get more in depth. But yeah, your sons. Me and Bruce Cooper obviously have talked a lot about that on Tuesday. And everything, and your thoughts?
Well, I just, again, once they lost that first play-in game, you knew it was short-lived. Yeah. Glad they won the second one. And you could just tell that the disparity between the 1 and 8 seed. I mean, they had no chance. No. I don't care. They played in that third game. They played about as hard as they could, about as good as they could. They kept it within single digit, and then boom, you go get a Coke, and they're down 20.
Or in my case, walk out of the room and walk right back in.
Yeah, and you're down 20. So
I took 2 steps out of this room, folks.
And the scary thing, you can't compare yourself to Oklahoma City right now.
No.
I mean, there's rungs up that ladder. But again, I think they exceeded expectations.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. I agree with you. This season was an exceeding expectation. The way it ended is disappointing, but if you look at the whole season,
Right.
exceeded your expectations.
And,
To be honest with you, the Suns are exactly where I thought they could be. I thought they'd be a 9 or 10 seed, be in the play-in games, maybe get the 8 seed to get there and get blown out by the Thunder, and they did it.
yeah, and I didn't even
Better
give
than
them that,
Yeah.
honestly, going in because nobody knew what Dylan Brooks was going to bring and all that. I think there's going to be a lot of fascinating decisions they have to make that we can talk about,
Yep.
and obviously we have time to do that. My Diamondbacks, my best buddy in Big Toe, Paul Sewald, can now pitch not safe situation and allow no runs. So he's turning into a well-rounded closer.
I'm watching
Steve.
that game yesterday, and they're the broadcaster. He hasn't pitched since Thursday. You got to get him out there, and I'm just like,
But you are sitting there going, gosh, I hope he gives up a dinger.
I'm like, don't do it.
I hope he gives up a home run.
it. Don't do it. Just you can wait another day.
They're 3.5 games out of first place in the NL West.
Yeah.
I don't know if a whole lot of people thought they would be there.
I said yesterday, like they're starting to make top 10 lists in terms of power rankings
Right.
from the national guy. Yahoo has them at number 10.
Hmm?
So nationally, people are paying attention to what the Diamondbacks are doing, and I believe they're winning. You know, they're 16 and 13 now, so it's not like they're winning huge margins, but they're doing this against a schedule of nothing but playoff teams, except
Yeah.
for the White Sox,
Yeah.
or teams that are supposed to. Phillies have fired their manager now. They've had a disappointing start, but you're expecting the Phillies to be good at the end
to
of
right
the
the
year.
ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
And stuff to that effect. And I think people nationally are starting to notice it as well.
Yeah.
My worry on the Diamondbacks now has shifted from bullpen, though, to starting pitching. Starting pitchers are starting to struggle. A month into the season, Dale. 3 weeks into the season.
No, it's a month.
Well, it started a week ago.
You got reinforcements coming,
Yeah.
Steve.
You got day games today,
Yeah.
and then 3 day games in Chicago. That worries me a little bit too. You out on the Chicago nightlife there? Whoop, whoop.
I don't know
Whoop,
if
whoop.
us 60-year-olds can go have nightlife and get up and golf in the morning. You get up and play
Whoop, whoop.
baseball.
Are you kidding me? This is a team that the wind hits their back a certain way, and they got to take a week off.
What's the weather in Chicago going to be?
Probably windy. Probably windy and cold. It was cold in Milwaukee. They got that roof, though, so it kind of helps out, obviously, from that perspective. Did you even watch any sports while you were over there in Palm Springs?
Watched a little NBA basketball, some of those playoff games that were going on, and I think some of the series are kind of interesting.
Yeah, the hockey's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Your Mammoth lost last night, double overtime to the Vegas Knights.
Yeah.
Bye, Mammoth. Nice knowing you.
Wow.
Maybe next year.
Wow.
Hey, they got.
You were not that confident when I last saw you on
I'm still, by the way, I'm
Friday.
still not. The Mammoth can come back and win this thing as well. I'm still not as confident as that. But yeah, I was kind of curious if you won. I didn't anticipate you to watch any sports at all while you were gone.
Well, I mean, seriously, you look at it, it's like in the Western Conference, obviously everybody knew Colorado was the best team, and they swept the
And
Kings.
everybody knew Carolina's one of the best teams in the East, and they both swept.
And they both swept. But the rest of the series, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2.
Yeah, Edmonton doesn't look good, and I'll talk with Lou about this. Edmonton doesn't look good, but they've made it a series 3-2, and Edmonton is a team you think could come back and win that series against the Ducks as well. But yeah, Mammoth blowing it though, man. If the Mammoth could beat the Knights in this series, they could go all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and half the arena would be able to see those games. Be fascinating.
Wouldn't
to
it be
watch.
great to have a finals played in that building?
Half the people are like, "What's happening?
Hey, did you see what happened?
Where's the TV I can look at?
Wow.
Are you? Who's got it on their phone?"
Wow.
Well, these hockey series, even that Philly ended up closing them out last night, just for the right to get dominated by Carolina here coming up. But that was a fun little series because those cities hate each other.
Yeah.
Man. Just can you imagine waking up in the morning and just being like, Pittsburgh, I hate them.
No,
I don't have hate for anybody like they do.
the thing that's always interesting to me about the hockey is, after a hard fought series, you fight, you scratch, you claw, you bang, you whatever, and then you line up and you shake everybody's hand.
Yeah, well, there's some
God
animosity
bless
in those
them.
shakeout hands, but yes,
But no fights, no.
Usually not. Not in the playoffs. There wouldn't be.
No.
I think you're just exhausted. But you're just like, oh, do we get to go home now? Sucks we lost, but I'm tired. Get out of here. Big 12 has a private capital deal. They're going to add $12.5 million to the conference itself, and schools are going to have access to $30 million to use as well coming up.
Really?
So how does that help NIL and things to that effect? We'll talk a little bit about that Texas Tech quarterback gambling thing tomorrow as well, and all of that. We do have, like I said, we'll have a day in the life of Steve. Tomorrow.
That I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
No, okay, that's why I did it that way.
I've
been holding it. When did I had a flat driving home. I want to say it was Monday or Tuesday. I got a discount tire experience again.
Oh.
It wasn't a bad one per se, but I learned. I'll put it this way: I learned why they could never fill up that front left tire. A big mystery where they're like, it's where it's at. And I'm like, it's still not right. I learned why in this process as well. And Dale, I had to spend $1,300 on 4 new tires. Yeah, folks, my car's a year old. Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
But I've also driven 32,000 miles in this year.
I just don't. Nothing makes any less sense than having a car without a spare tire. That's the dumbest thing ever.
They make them now.
No, you always. They're little donuts, for crying out loud. You can stick it in your glove compartment, fold it up.
Not when you have the beast like I have. The beast. Not when you have the little pink car out there. My car changes color. It's one of those paint jobs.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, you walk out and you're like, my car's pink right now.
You're like, is that my car? Or somebody parking?
I recognize my little pink machine.
Yeah,
I'm proud of it.
You look cute in it.
It's always like, people go, what color's your car? And I'm like, gray, usually, but right now I don't know. What time of day is it? Yeah.
Big guy in a pink car.
Papa Mike says, good morning, gentlemen. Well, on that note, Dale, get out of here. Go do your other thing. Go see your favorite person who hates me now and doesn't want to talk to me anymore.
You guys are best buds.
Whatever. I texted him this week, and he was like, I'll just wait to deal with it. I'm not interested in you. Clown. Nice try.
Most people wait till Dale gets back.
Taking a beating this week.
I am going to be rolling around tonight in bad gut. I can't wait to hear what happened to Steve.
You can text me later. I'll tell you. I want you to have a sleepless night, coming all tired and everything. Uncle Lou's coming up top of the hour. Well, Papa Mike says a day in the life of Steve sounds mentally exhausting.
Tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
I'll have to do some backstory, too, for the people that have found us on our testing method here that aren't familiar with the stories of my life. Dale, get out of here. Everybody else, come on back. I'll get you going until Uncle Lou comes up at 9 o'clock. Come on back. In a bit. back here, main event. Of course, your humble host, Stephen McCollum, sticks around for you guys out there. Dale Hellestrae? No, he's like, I'm out of here. I got more important things to do. Obviously goes over and does his hit over there at KUPD with John Holmberg and the boys over there and all of that good stuff. John's been back at work this week. All of his personal stuff, I'm not going to say they're sold, but the reasons why he took some time off end of last week, didn't make the draft show and didn't make his show at all. It sounds like he's doing a lot better over there. I did talk to him earlier this week and stuff, but Dale goes over there on Thursdays. We'll get Dale back tomorrow. We'll cover it all. Have a fun little Friday show as well coming up tomorrow as well. But we got Uncle Lou coming up later on today as well. We got UFC this weekend from Perth, Australia this weekend. We'll talk that. And like I tell you guys all the time, yes, we do talk at it. Lou's a gambling guy. We talk at it in terms of the gambling perspective and things to that effect. But what it's done, I'm not a big gambler, right? I have $5 here and there. I just have some fun with it, stuff like that. He allows me to talk to people. Like I've got some people in my life that are diehard UFC fans. I am not a diehard UFC guy. I enjoy it. I watch it when it's on. I missed the last 2 fights because of other stuff, WrestleMania, and then last week I completely forgot about it, and I was at the Rattlers game, covering that. And, it's fun. I was able to talk to people about it, and it just brings a lot of excitement to it. So at a minimum, that's what he can do there for us as well, and what we're looking at from last week. So Perth, Australia this weekend. Starts at 4 a.m. our time. Prelims. No, I'm sorry. Main card starts 4 a.m. our time. Yeah. 1 a.m. Mountain Standard Time when the prelims start. Got to be a dedicated UFC guy if you're watching this weekend's fights there from Australia. We'll talk about that with Lou coming up, of course, at the top of the hour. We hit on stuff with Dale. I actually wasn't sure how much sports knowledge that he had with this trip there, so I was kind of impressed with that as well, on what he did have out there as well. But don't forget, when that's it now, we'll get another What Happened to Steve or whatever you guys are calling that segment that we've had on the nonsense I get myself into out there. Really quick, let's get you updated on what's happening around the NBA world as well. Kobe, throw up that bracket for me, if you will. I don't know. The Lakers get a little bit healthier yesterday, and they're keeping the Rockets alive in this series. 3-2 now. Lakers lead this series as well. They play Friday night. I believe they play Friday night. They do play Friday night, Prime Video, for that series. Kevin Durant already has been ruled out for Game 6 as well. Can the Rockets win at home here in Game 6 over the Lakers and make this a 7-game series? I know this. The Thunder at home, relaxing, chilling out, relaxing, being all cool, probably playing some basketball outside of the school. I know it's b-ball, but still. For those of you that get that reference. But whoever wins this series is going to get blown out by the Thunders. They're going to be tired. They're going to be exhausted. All that fun stuff as well, right? Tonight, you've got Nuggets, Timberwolves. In this series, I told you before, when the Nuggets were 3 games down, 3-1, I just didn't think the Nuggets can win 3 in a row against the Timberwolves. I'm intrigued now to see if they can. I'm not convinced they can. Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards out. They lost, holy cow, I just forgot his name. Again, number 0, blew his Achilles out the other game. 2 mega players on this team. The Nuggets would not be surprising if they can come back in this series and win. And obviously tonight, they have to win the rest of the games here against the Timberwolves, the next 2, and it starts tonight as well. That's an intriguing series to watch, but they have the same problem that the Lakers-Rockets series has. If the Nuggets can come back and win in a Game 7 against the Timberwolves or even force it, the Spurs have been sitting at home for a little bit, and they're going to sit at home for a little bit longer as well, waiting for that series to come out. Now, I told you the stat earlier. Spurs, whether they play the Nuggets or the Timberwolves, the Spurs lost their regular season record against both of those teams. I don't know if it means anything, but it is an intriguing thing. I think they were 2-1 against one of the teams. I think it was the Nuggets, and they were 3-1. They lost 3 games, 1-1 against the Timberwolves. So they lost more than they beat these two teams. So it's not going to be an easy series for the Spurs. But the longer the Nuggets and Timberwolves play, I can tell you this: if the Timberwolves do advance over the Nuggets with those injuries, it's going to be a quick series against the Spurs. I do firmly believe that as well. Pistons, man, they woke up last night. First game in this series where you looked at it and said the Pistons were playing their brand of basketball. Their one game that they won before that was game 2. They had to make some defensive changes late in that game in order to do that. Well, that's 3-2 right now. Pistons, have they woken up against the Magic? We'll have to see. They play Friday night again coming up as well. Last night, Cavaliers lead that series 3-2. They got the win last night as well. They play Friday night as well on Prime Video. I think the Cavaliers are done messing around with the Raptors. This series should have been over already. We'll have to see on the Cavs here, but they're up 3-2 as well. Knicks play tonight. Knicks Hawks. I do think the Knicks close out this series, but the way that the Hawks are playing in this series, you can see them winning another one, forcing that game 7 out there. But we'll see tonight. Knicks play tonight as well. Then you got Celtics 76ers. The question mark on this series is, I don't think the Celtics lose this series with the 76ers, down one game here, 3-2 right now. But Joel Embiid's back, and Joel Embiid, if you watched that last game, Joel Embiid looked like Joel Embiid of the past. I expect Joel Embiid to struggle a little bit more tonight, being his, third game back, I guess it is now. He's going to hit a wall at some point. It's Joel Embiid after all. Tonight might be the night that happens, but Joel Embiid is the secret weapon here, and it's not that big of a secret for the 76ers to keep this series alive tonight as well. So you could have a bunch of closeout games tonight, and then you can have a bunch of closeout games tomorrow night, or you can have some Game 7s coming up this weekend as well. This is a fascinating time around the NBA for you NBA fans out there as well. And I'm just perusing through the websites really quick here, see if anything is breaking. Liv did establish a new board to attempt to survive. Yeah, because all the Saudi PIF guys that were on their board are quitting and running away with that funding going away as well. So KD is out for Game 6 with that ankle issue coming up for the Thunder. I'm sorry, for the Rockets, as well. So yeah, nothing really out there that I see that is breaking news as of right now out there as well. We got Uncle Luke coming up at 9 o'clock. And if you're not following TME Media AZ on social media X or on YouTube or even Rumble, TME Media on Rumble, rumble.com/user/TME Media, do so, especially the YouTube page. For those of you that haven't been able to watch us live because you didn't want to subscribe over to Robat, well, we're testing some things out. And you want to follow that to see when we're live and all of that stuff out there. And Robert's found it, Papa Mike's found it, and we're getting some good feedback on that. But also, we're doing a lot of testing on what we can show live, what we can't show live, and going through those processes because we're gonna have a lot of specific programming coming up there as well, coming your way from that perspective. But give us a like and follow, even the podcast system, so we can get those out there as well. Last night, we're going to talk some hockey with Lou coming up here. Let's get into it right now. Throw up that NHL bracket for me. We know Colorado and Carolina are sitting at home. Interesting enough, I saw a stat, I think it was yesterday. I did not save it, so I'm going off of memory. If it's not exact, I do apologize. But the last several Stanley Cup winners, or many Stanley Cup winners recently, all have won their first round series in a sweep. Or I think it's 4 or 5 games is what the stat said. It doesn't matter. Because you got 2 teams this year that swept their first round opponents, Colorado and Carolina. They're the 2 that fall into that category. And if you know anything about hockey, Colorado is the favorite to win the Stanley Cup at the end of this year. They've been the best team all year. Carolina's really ranked high up there. I don't know if they're second or third right now. But going into the playoffs, they were second to win the playoffs going into that perspective. Right, so they're right on board from that thing. Now, Colorado is waiting for Dallas and Minnesota to wrap up to see who they face in that round. Minnesota, I do expect to win this series. Does Dallas have a little bit of last gasp here? They do play tonight as well, 4 p.m. our time here on the West Coast. To see, does Dallas have enough to win and keep this series go to a game 7? Does Minnesota close it out and get ready for Colorado? Game 1, Colorado and whoever they play will be an interesting one because Colorado's been sitting at home for a while now. Dallas, Minnesota, obviously coming off, whether it be tonight or a game 7. Well, they're coming off, a high energy game. Game 1 might be fascinating to watch. Colorado is going to ultimately win that series, though, going forward. Edmonton, Anaheim as well. They play tonight. Those are the 2 games. Dallas, Minnesota, Edmonton, Anaheim tonight. Draisaitl woke up, scored 2 goals last game. Connor McDavid injured. Not sure what his status is for tonight's game. Anaheim surprisingly is up 3-2 in this series. Anaheim needs to close it out now. If this goes to a game 7, I think their chances dwindle a lot. A lot of pressure on Anaheim tonight to get that game in. Anaheim, Edmonton play tonight as well, 7 p.m. our time here on the West Coast for that series tonight. Folks, fantastic series, both of these. If you're going to tune into hockey anytime in this postseason, well, you want to tune in for these 2. If you didn't take my advice last night and you didn't tune into the Knights in Utah, now the Diamondbacks game got over like at 7:10, 7:15, something like that. And so I missed the first, 10 minutes of the Knights-Mammoth game. Ended up going to double overtime. Vegas Knights ended up scoring in double overtime. 5-4 victory for them. Take the 3-2 lead last night. Folks, if you're not paying attention to that series, especially Coyotes fans, because the Mammoth kids are out there playing hard. Tierney, the coach, of course, coaching his heart out there as well. Giving a run for the money there on the Knights. Yes, they're down 3-2 right now. Going into this series, but they go back home to Utah and see what happens there. But this is a fantastic, very evenly matched series from that side. Philadelphia did eliminate Pittsburgh last night, so Philadelphia goes on to play Carolina. Their reward is they're going to play Carolina. I do expect that to be a fairly quick series. We'll talk about that. But I told you guys all along, Tampa Bay, I like Tampa Bay in these playoffs, but Montreal was the worst matchup they could have had in the first round. I told you Montreal's in play on this. Uncle Lou told you Montreal's in play in this series. I did not pull the trigger on Montreal. Man, I wish I would have. Right now, they won last night 3-2. They have a 3-2 series lead here in this game as well. This is a fun back and forth series between these 2 teams. I don't think Tampa Bay's done. I think we're going to possibly see a game 7 coming up in this series. They're winning 1-goal games here is what they're doing in this series throughout it. These are some fun, fanatic games here. And they don't play until Friday night coming up again. They'll be the first game on Friday night as well. Then you got Buffalo, Boston. Buffalo cannot keep Boston floating around in this series. They need to close it out with that 3-2 lead that Buffalo has right now as well coming up. And then tomorrow night, you got the Vegas Knights in Utah on Friday night. We'll talk more about that tomorrow as well, of course. But, folks, you're missing some good sports out there. In terms of playoff sports, even if you're not the biggest hockey fan in the world, just sit down, turn your TV on, and watch the excitement and the hard. These guys are just battling it out. It's fascinating. Even if you don't understand the game of hockey, you'll notice the intensity and you'll notice the want to here in these playoffs because it is definitely evident here in these remaining series out there right now. Diamondbacks yesterday, of course, in Milwaukee for Game 2 in that series as well. Erod did not have his best stuff yesterday. I don't think there's any other way to put that. But he battled it out there. He did get yanked a little bit early. I probably would have left him in that scenario. Only pitched 4 2/3 of an inning. But I understand why you took him out, and you put Ginkel in there. You can't give enough praise to what Ginkel did while he was in there. He gave up that first hit, put the guy on. And then the whole bullpen as a whole, including Seawald when he came in at the end of the game, that was the only hit the bullpen gave up all game long yesterday. They shut down the Milwaukee Brewers after Rodriguez left the game and gave up his 2 earned runs. From that perspective, he's got a 3.03 ERA now for him as well. But Seawald came in, non-save situation, did a great job closing it out. You're nervous, man. The broadcast was sitting there as you're sitting there watching it, and the broadcast saying, Well, Sewell's warming up. He hasn't pitched since Thursday. That's a long time not to pitch. You kind of want to get him out there. The thing that made it a little bit nicer, though, Sewell going in there, was the Ketel Marte. I mean, I don't even think that thing's landed yet, that home run. And then right after that, the back-to-back there with Corbin Carroll as well, gave you that buffer to put Sewald out there and see, if he struggled at all, and then you could easily move out of it. You had the buffer. It wasn't a 4-2 ball game at that point, right? It was a 6-2 ball game out there. Anthony Del Castillo, I told you yesterday, I said, what is the status on that finger? He did play in the game 2 nights ago after the injury on Sunday. He did get into the game as DH. And he got in there, and look, that finger's fine. Jacked that home run yesterday as well in Milwaukee to get the scoring started for him as well. So I don't think we have to worry about his, the lingering effects, let's say, of the finger, from him as well coming up into this. Brewers, of course, scored 1 in the first inning, 1 in the third inning as well to have that 2 lead. That's when Del Castillo and sorry, folks, I forgot who else scored on that. Scored the 4 runs there in the 4th inning as well before the Marte Carroll home runs in the 9th to give them. I call them the insurance runs yesterday on Twitter as well out there. Arenado, gosh, just came to me. He hit the other one there to get the 4th run there as well. 4th inning hit as well for him yesterday. Look, now they got 4 day games in a row coming up. You got Milwaukee today, 10:40 start time for the Diamondbacks today as well. Is what we're looking at. I haven't seen the lineups yet. I haven't looked yet, but Perdomo got back into the lineup yesterday. If you did notice that, was leadoff yesterday as well. Kind of quiet that it was coming. I saw the lineup. Boom, he was out there. Did go 0 for 2 yesterday. Perdomo did, but he's batting .244 now on the year. After missing, obviously, how many games does he miss now? 3? Did he miss 2 or 3? He went out of the game on Saturday, so Sunday, Tuesday is what he missed there for Perdomo as well in this game. Gurriel Jr. is up to 156. He did get 2 hits yesterday, 2 out of 4 for him. We did see Barossa get into the game and didn't get anything there as well, but we did see him pinch hit late into that game. Alec Thomas, though, batting 195 still a little bit low, and then Gurriel, 156 for him for these guys. And I know they're not using Alec Thomas for his bat, more of a defensive type thing, but we need to get that up. He's batting 9th in the order here. Be nice to get him on base before Perdomo, Marte, and Carroll, come up to bat. And like I said, I still don't think that ball's landed from Marte yet yesterday in that 9th inning home run. That was a fantastic hit by him as well. So yesterday, in terms of the bullpen, you had Ginkel, Morello, Clark, and then Sewald came in. Like I said, other than Ginkel gave up that 1 hit when he first went out there and got out of that inning, they shut down the rest of the Brewers, the rest of that game as well yesterday. So today, 10:40 start here for the Diamondbacks coming up. Then they go to Chicago, right? That's a long trek for them down to Chicago, about a 90-minute drive. I'm assuming they're taking a bus. I don't know how that works on the pro levels here, but you got Soroka today against Brandon Woodruff here. Look, if you want to win this series, you have to get to a really good pitcher there in Woodruff coming up today. This isn't going to be an easy game to win this series as well. But again, the Diamondbacks, the thing that strikes me with this team is they come in, they get blown out in this series, right? First game. Doesn't matter. They come back and win yesterday. It's just they can get blown out in a game. We've seen it all season long. They can get blown out in a game. Boom, they come back. They win it. They've won this series for the most part. Like I said, it was a 3 series. They haven't won. They tied the Padres down there in Mexico City. Lost to the White Sox there and lost to the Dodgers. They're not afraid of these blowout wins or anything like that. I'm looking forward to it. What does Soroka do against Woodruff this weekend? I looked up Woodruff's numbers. He's always been regarded as a good pitcher. He's 2 for 1 on the season as of right now. 3.77 ERA. Only 23 strikeouts for him. That actually surprises me a little bit for him as well. So far this season is what he's looking at. I'm just looking really quick here. Seems like he's pitching 5 innings a game, giving up 2 or 3 earned runs a game as well. I mean, his ERA right now is 3.38 at home is what it is. Overall, it's the 3.77 for Woodruff. So you're not going up against the dominating pitcher there coming into this game. Look, the bats woke up yesterday. You got to keep them awake. And then Soroka's just got to go out there and do what he does best. But like I said, the thing that I'm paying attention to for the Diamondbacks is, one, what happens today at 10:40 a.m., morning game. And then they have 3-day games against the Chicago Cubs. Day games are different than night games, especially for teams that don't play a lot of day games. So I'm interested in seeing how the Diamondbacks kind of handle this. Because then after that, they come back here and they got Pittsburgh at home here the following weekend after this Chicago series coming up as well. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun weekend. Looking forward to it for the Diamondbacks. Not weekend. I mean, fun day here, 10:40 p.m. or a.m. Then tomorrow, 11:20 a.m. our time as well. So I'm liking these day games. Let's see what happens. When we come back, though, we got the man of the hour in here right now. But we're all looking forward to Uncle Lou's in the house. We'll talk NHL playoffs with him. I've already set up my excitement around hockey. We'll get Uncle Lou's thoughts here as well. College World Series, we're getting closer and closer to the championship games there for the conferences. Of course, the regionals, super regionals, and then the World Series, the College World Series. Talk NHL, and of course, we go to Perth, Australia, folks. You like to have to see if Uncle Lou's going to stay up all night or what he's going to do there this weekend on Saturday from Australia. So come on back, folks. Uncle Lou up there. And we're back here, main event with the man, the myth, the legend, Uncle Lou over here as well. Of course, you can find him on VSiN. He's a I almost said a conspirator over there. That's not the case. You help him out.
And
over
I'm
there.
way more myth than man or legend. So let's clean that up right now.
Of course, Gamblu.com as well. Uncle Lou's joins us every Thursday here as well. Big fight here in Perth, Australia this weekend. NHL playoffs going on. Kentucky Derby this weekend. I didn't even know that was coming up till yesterday. I was like,
Giddy up.
Derby's this weekend as well. Uncle Lou's here. Uncle Lou, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Great weekend. Happy to be here. Our weather in Phoenix for May is October or March-like. I mean, literally, we're having beautiful kind of overcast days that aren't so scorching hot. It's been great. Hockey's gone great, and we got UFC to talk about, and we got a bunch of little teeny 110-pounders on horses running in circles.
Do they weigh 110 pounds, or is that just after breakfast?
I want to say they're more like 15 to 22, 115 to 122. I want to say I can.
Yeah. So I mean, let's get into that, right? Well, first of all, let's just tell everybody for listening, because we're in Australia this week. The UFC is, so we do get a lot of people, New Zealand, Australia, those Asian markets down there. A lot of people tune in, find us here as well with you. So tell everybody where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I see that here, and I see that also in the Sneak Teep, where I can look at analytics. And I mean, I'm a rub two sticks together to get fire guy. So analytics and computerization ain't my bag. But I can see where people tune into Sneak Teep, and I'm so flattered that I get the diversity of countries that tune in. Thank you so much. It tells me simply that there are very dedicated gamblers of UFC that are listening to those things. Anyway, Gamblu.com. I do 2 podcasts a week for the UFC, which is the main sport for me. But I also cover NFL College World Series coming right up, hockey playoffs, we're eyebrow deep in right now. So a lot going on this time of year. You can see we're scrolling down to show you all the highlights to the webpage, and basically everything is there. It's very simple because I designed it, not some young kid that understands computers. So again, we're rubbing 2 sticks together. And then last,
keep it simple, right?
Last and quickly, the San Xavier Del Bach mission is a tab that I've dedicated a part of the webpage to, because we contribute there. We like to bring light to the oldest mission in the United States, situated just south of Phoenix and just actually south of Tucson, a few minutes, 2.5 hours south of us now. They're doing great work there. There's a link to their webpage there. Any interested parties should really check them out. They do super work. We're happy to be just a small contributor in their well-being, because it's a great cause, indigenous to Arizona, and Steve lets me mention it every week.
Absolutely. So like I said, in this day and age, what the economy's doing, all of that stuff, if you're able to give to a charity, find your own if you don't want to deal with that, but find somebody to help out.
They're all good.
A lot of people need help these days out there as well. So no worries, Lou, but definitely check out, when is the weigh-ins this week, because we're in Perth, Australia. It's going to be overnight our time. So when are the weigh-ins? They got to be this morning or this afternoon.
Yeah, there's like 6 tonight, which is just, boy, how great is that? And I'm tickled for the people in Perth who get to, I mean, you should see them. They have these fights at 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it's switching this year.
And the place is going nuts. Wait till you see them when it's 8, 8:30 and everybody can go.
If you don't know, normally they still have these Australia fights at 7 p.m. our time. And like you said, that's like way early their time.
What we have to address is that they aren't at 7 p.m. this week.
No.
This week, the fights start at 1 a.m. if you're watching prelims, and 4 a.m. if you're going to get up for the bagels and beatdown section, the main event, the main card. So those are always fun. I have to, you were saying
eat your Fruit Loops with some blood on.
A latte and a left hook, an omelet with an omoplata. Any way you want to look at it, that's what you're going to be doing if you're watching fights. See how I fold all those fighting terms in there, Steve?
I love it.
I've said these before, obviously. So. Yeah, the undercard. Actually, there are fights on the undercard that I'm going to want to kind of be aware of. So, to me, it's what's funny is my system, it's work for me to see the start of the third period for the second hockey game at night. Usually I just go to bed and at 2 a.m, look and see if I won or not on that game. And so arising at 3 or 3:15 in the morning to me is sport. I mean, that's easy. I walk my dog at 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be no problem getting up and watching these fights. I think I kind of expected of myself to see most of them because I am in that business. I want to see how some of these kids perform.
Yeah.
And surely the main card I'll have investment in, and I'll want to watch what happens.
Absolutely. It'll be a lot of fun. But before we get to that, really quick, because I was talking Diamondbacks before you came on, I forgot to mention this, because I just don't believe it's real. So Ann chimes in, and Ann says, Steve, a local headline, the D-backs finally have a left-hand pitcher in the bullpen. It took only a month into the season. Yeah, I've completely forgot to mention that. They sent Hoffman down, called up the young left-hander as well. Kind of just caught everybody off guard from that perspective. So we have to mention that here today in terms of the Diamondback.
Good for it. Was the young lady's name Ann?
Ann, yes.
Jeez, good for Ann for being on top of it.
Oh, she's a huge Diamondbacks fan.
Well, you've
and
been
everything.
saying also all year long, I'm not that in tune with it. I have them to make the playoffs, so I need you guys to be right. So bring couple. I know left-handed pitchers that are apt are few and far between, so hopefully we have one.
You want them, right? But it's unusual for a team to be without a left-hander to start the season. It was a big deal at the beginning, and now they brought him up and everything. But, I mean, it's nice to see the Diamondbacks bringing up some young arms from Reno, regardless of who they are. So we'll see what happens.
It's nice to see female constituents comment on sports.
Ann's probably more knowledgeable than you and I put together.
I bet. I don't doubt it.
I'm not blowing smoke up.
I'm not
fully
going.
it.
Listen, I don't care what color shirt you're wearing. I respect everybody's
Absolutely.
opinion.
So I just wanted to bring that up because I can't believe I even had it in my notes here. And I forgot to bring it up there at the end.
Well, go D-backs.
It's almost like I can't believe it. Yeah, 10:40
I feel very
day
good
game.
for them. The Padres are surprising me a touch, I have to say.
Really? With all that talent
I didn't
still?
expect them to be quite this good this early. Hopefully that balances out and they eventually begin to go the other way.
They've had a lot of comebacks being down 4 runs or more, the Padres. So
maybe they can run out of juice.
Yeah, can you do that all season is kind of the question, right? Or do you start to falter a little bit going forward? But anyway, I wanted to bring that up for everybody.
We got horses too now.
I was gonna say we got Kentucky Derby this weekend. For those of you, the Kentucky Derby kicks off. I don't know what the weather's going to be this weekend.
Beautiful.
I have not looked. It is
ideal, beautiful weather, and everybody in the horse institution is happy about that. For 1 week, like the World Cup here this year, I'll get really in tune to World Cup while it's here. I'll watch it. I'll invest in it very, very lightly because it isn't my gig, but. The Derby, I really like to have a little fun with, and all week long I listen to the unbelievably sharp guests in the horse racing game that VSiN gets on, as well as what you can research on the World Wide Web. And there's great opinions out there. There's a lot of ways to attack this. I won several $1,000s on a trifecta a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And I want to try and capture that approach again into this year. And by that, I mean, I don't want to get carried away betting too much money on all these wild exotics. But at the same time, I'm going to ask my son what horse name he likes, my wife, what one she likes.
A little fun.
Put those in there because I don't want to take it too seriously. It isn't my sport. I'm going to take 5 horses, spin them in a trifecta box. And I think if you do that for $1, it might be $120. So I'll do that for 2 or 3 times, and then that'll be all I do.
Yeah.
Or I'll find. I know there's a couple bombs. I may try and find that, but my favorite bet is the Kentucky Oaks, which is run the day before into the Derby. They have a daily double, so you try and hit the race in one day. If you get that winner, now you got advantage into the next day. Last year, I had that exact same thing. I hit the first side. The next side, I'm still waiting for my horse to cross the finish line. But it's a new year this year, so a lot of ways to attack it. Have fun. If you want to do it, allocate a few dollars out that you're willing to throw in the garbage can. I'm telling you. And since you're just going to throw it in the garbage can, my thought is try for a try. See if I can win 800 or something
might as well try
stupid
the odds,
for my $250 or $300. Try and win something and cash the ticket. And if I don't, I know I lost a reasonable amount and I move on, whatever that amount may be.
The race starts on Saturday, Churchill Downs, 3:57 for us out here on the West
4
Coast,
o'clock.
basically. Yep. There goes the winner. The favorite here is 5-1 odds for the favorite horse named Renegade going into this weekend. As of this morning, it looks like.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about it like that, then what we got to understand is Renegade. The talk on Renegade is that without question, almost every horse pundit regards him as the best horse, and almost every, except 99 out of 100 of them, say that he's got no chance to win because of the draw of the number one post.
Yes.
These horses are lined up 20 wide. They run for the corner, and if one don't get out and slung around, if he gets caught in traffic, it's madness.
You get pinched against the railing, right?
There's nowhere to go on the inside, and they're all
Exactly.
coming down here at you. So unless unless they're chasing your rear and you're in front, which is what you need to be, they're coming down, and not only that, there's 15 of them, and they're all kicking up mud and dirt in your face. So it's a
It seems like when there's overwhelming favorites in this race too, they rarely win.
No
also, it
overwhelming
feels like.
favorite this week. Most regard this wide open. There's,
Okay.
I mean, I've got the VSiN Kentucky Derby preview here, which is really good. You can. For me, all I need to do is read 2 or 3 guys I trust in the horse business, see what they think, and then I have an inside ace of spades that I pull every single time I go to big races, and that's my good buddy from Omaha, Nebraska, Larry Rosso, who's going to be up in Vegas. I was supposed to be there this weekend. I had matters that kept me here. Nonetheless, he's going to be up there, and so after I do my research, I'll have my notes, and then I'll simply have him take a photo of his positions, and then I get those, and then that will be the master by which I maybe add some of these other ones in. Mm-hmm. And so everyone has their process. I'm going to be very educated in how I throw my money in the trash basket, because that's probably what's going to happen.
And then Robert, because Robert always talks about
boy Robert,
Bob Baffert,
Baffert's got a horse.
He's got 2 of them.
One scratched.
Oh, one did scratch. Okay, I knew there was a rumor of one scratching, but as of yesterday, he had 2 of them. So the one did officially scratch?
Hold on, let me make sure I'm talking straight here. No, both are in.
Okay.
And 4 litmus tests, 50 to 1. 14, one that's being talked about. Yeah. Potente, Hernandez on him at 20 to 1.
Yeah. We make fun of Bob Baffert because I put the odds on that horse.
He's a U of A guy and was in my fraternity at the U of A.
Now that horse is going to be DQ'd or
no, actually, that horse. If you leave that horse out, you do it at your own risk. That's foolish to do.
That's all. That's what Robert talks about.
Not to mention, he's
Bob
been
Baffert.
kicked out of this race the last several years. Don't think he's coming with some bum 3-legged goat.
He's going to be highly scrutinized. But there you go, Robert. I got ahead of that. 2 horses this weekend. There was rumor that one was going to scratch, but you have until I think
a Baffert horse scratched in the Oaks. The race.
Is that what it was? Okay. All right.
Bottle of Rouge.
Yeah, and so you have until I want to say later today, right, before you can scratch a horse. I don't. 9 a.m. Friday is
I'm
when.
impressed you would know that.
Yeah, 9 a.m. Friday is you have to scratch the horse, otherwise they don't run. And then they actually have like eligible horses are there in case somebody scratches, and then you can then those horses fill in.
Saturday morning when I get Rosso's numbers, this dude reads a horse form like I read Durant's food menu. I'm telling you, this guy is good.
When it comes, and only the Kentucky Derby, when it comes to the Kentucky Derby, I can talk to you like I just study horse racing like nobody's business. But when you get to the Preakness or any of the other ones, I'm just like, I don't know what's happening.
He's
It's just there's something about the Kentucky Derby being first that is just so much fun to get involved with.
yeah. I've learned as I get older, I like horses more and more as I get older. I spend more and more of my bankroll on it. I allocate time to the Saratoga meet each summer
Yep.
that's coming up here in a few months, and so I'm trying to get better at it within reason, because my line's always been all right. Packers, Bears. Giants and the Redskins, Cubs and Cardinals. I have my hands full picking the winner of those clashes between giants, right? But wait, now you're going to say, hey, Lou, you don't have to pick the Bears or the Packers. Here, I got 20 horses running over here. Pick one of those. Who's winning? I'm not your guy for that, okay? Yeah, I got my hands full with the green team and the purple team, let alone 20 nags. So I try it. We have fun with it, and we're gonna try and get lucky.
I don't get like I watch like the Wiesen guys and a couple other entities, and I'm like, how do you know that horse is good? And they're like, well, it ran well here. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the Kentucky Derby. Like what? So
that's what they have to do, though.
It does crack me up. I have no idea how you pick winners, but it is fascinating to me to read about them and see it and then see how they perform. So I don't know. There's just something about maybe it's because it's the first one in the whole deal, where it's the most exciting for me. But
but these horses have been running for 9 months to get to here. So
interesting. Renegade hasn't won on any of the pre ones to get into this race, whereas all the other ones have won a couple, 2-3 times. I think it was Renegade that hadn't won.
I mean, wouldn't you rather? Yeah, that seems odd, but wouldn't you rather have somebody coming in with some mo? And they also say that
I'm talking about the tracks leading up to.
They say the Florida Derby is the most taxing and similar to the Kentucky Derby that you can get in a prep race, and so naturally, then you look at Wallaby and some of these horses that ran in that race.
Yeah, and it does fascinate me because, you don't know. It's not like a basketball game where you're like, oh, so and so's not feeling well today, or leading into the game. You're literally going, what if that horse wakes up and he's just not feeling it that day?
I ask my wife to look at the names and pick one, and I don't care what the odds are that she picks. You use it, right? You have to. To me, I have to do that. Yeah. That's keeping a loose grip on the golf club.
Well, that's the other thing I look, because I do study what all the experts say. A lot of them are so wrong on this race.
Oh, sure, 20 horses.
It's like, oh my God, I like this horse here. That, like you said, that horse is still running from last year.
There's nowhere though.
That guy wasn't even close to being in the front of this deal. So that's what fascinates me about this. But I'm excited. I love the Kentucky Derby. I love watching it. It's quick. You don't have to invest a ton of time into it to watch it.
The fastest 2 minutes in sports,
Yeah,
Steve-o.
it's amazing to see it, how it goes. But that's this weekend.
And you'll be watching it, too.
I will, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Like I said, for some reason, the Preakness I'll catch if it's on, and other races. But this one, it's just leading up to it. I've been reading about it all week, getting ready for it, and reading about the horses and going into this
awesome.
Weekend. And I don't know, maybe it's the first race thing.
I feel the same way. I'm fired up for it. It's fun. I've been betting some of these pre-races, so I kind of have an idea.
Yeah. And there's no UFC, obviously. That'll be over long before
the
that
UFC
comes
fits
on,
perfectly into that. And not only that, by the time the UFC ends and the horse race starts, even the BS in front, that's 6-7 hours. And that's what Uncle Louie got nap time in there.
I used to go up to Turf Paradise for this race, and you dress up and you go up there, and they have all this stuff there, and you bet on all the pre-races, and you make a day of it.
Yes.
And stuff like that. It's so much fun.
They still have that up there. Unfortunately,
do they still do it?
What's happening in the race industry is just a tragedy of epic proportion, but it's not going away. What is going away is the horse racing industry, unfortunately, can't attract young people. It's all old raisins me that are all go to. I mean, in Vegas, horse books are shrinking. Sports books are going this way. That's all you have to see. But it is what it is. It's going to be a fun event. I'm hoping to catch lightning in a bottle, but more than likely, I'm going to be a short Italian that can't jump, and from the free throw line, I'm going to put one up and get nothing but air.
Yeah, but it's part of the fun, right?
Yes,
for it to happen
for 2 minutes
and stuff like that.
I'm a potential.
You don't, unless you want to watch,
winner.
like you said, you want to watch the pre-race stuff and things to that, and the races beforehand. Literally, this is 2 minutes of your time. Tune in at like 3:50. you'll be off of it by 4:00, 4:50.
Oh, no,
you'll be off it.
I mean,
I
but
know.
it's supposed to run at 4.
They have so much pomp and circumstance
Yeah,
that
oh,
it could
no.
go longer. Yeah.
No, but I think the actual race is scheduled for like 4:59.
Oh, it's not that long, is it?
Yeah, I think that you can see.
Well, no, it's 3:59 our time. Three. What did I say it was
that's
earlier?
what. Are you sure?
Yeah,
That-
7. So that's when the actual race is supposed to block. I could be wrong on that. That's what I remember it being there. I know we're fighting over starting time.
6:57 Eastern.
Yeah, so 3:57 our time.
So
yeah.
4. Okay.
That's when they are supposed to race. It'll be later than that, a little bit, but a few minutes.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that is when you want to tune in, and then you're just watching it for 10, 15 minutes.
Well, they're
and it'll
going to
be
give you
over,
another
so.
half hour time
Yeah.
to bet.
That's the thing. They overhype it, definitely, from that side. But Lou, also the NHL playoffs are going on. I was looking at your numbers last week, my man, or over the weekend. Woo! Lou, you've rebounded on the NHL side and with all your stuff. I got to give you props for this because you are a guy that comes in here and you say, I sucked. I was terrible. When you do well and do this well, it's pretty impressive.
Well, first of all, thank you. I'm used to having solid success in hockey, and 2 years ago I broke about even, which was highly unusual, and I wasn't happy with it going into last year. Then last year was really amazing. It's like when you're a decent golfer but you've lost it and and you just can't find it. I was the least confident. I couldn't hit it was a perfect storm again. And so this year I refocused, retooled, rethought, and we've attacked it very similarly as far as my modeling and how I look at the teams, but way different how I bet it. Fewer futures, no series bets in this first round, a lot more watching. I played game by game only. And so, and I've only used a half a unit per bet. Haven't even bet a unit yet outside of the futures that were wagered at the beginning of the season,
Yes.
and everybody knows those. The only difference between what we'll go over now are the Conn Smythe futures that I've seeded throughout my webpage. Anyway, so let's get to tonight, Thursday. So into tonight, favorites 20 and 19. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, no biggie. Over under, the unders are actually 17, 15, and 7.
Really?
Road teams, and that's what I want to concentrate on, 20 and 19. 20 and 19 on the road. Okay, not so bad. Gamblu results, 20 and 12, up 5.97 units. Let's call it 6 units, even though it's a little less than that, because 6 units at half, that means that we're up 12 times to get to 6 units. Happy to be that way. Last night had Montreal. They pick us up, so 165, and then you lose a unit on Pittsburgh and Washington. So you lose 2, you pick up 165. So 1 and 2, but you only lose 35 cents. I'll do that all day, just as long as I get back to winning these things. So right now, great profit. Great return on investment, but we're not through the first round yet. Not time to start singing praises and putting feathers in your hat. The time to stay focused and keep doing what we're doing is now. I'm not rushing into changing my bet. I'm too superstitious for that. Let's see what the next few days holds. We'll get to the end of the round, and then we'll recalibrate. But it's fun to be on the right side and now having some confidence when I look at these handicaps and look at my numbers, as opposed to last year when I was just really, I had really lost a lot of my confidence. So
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And the reason why I say God bless you for this is because I look at these series right now, the ones still available, and I just shrug my shoulders. Like, I have no idea what's happening in these series. One score games, overtimes, battling it out. And I'm just like, wow, like going into these games, I'm even going into them going, ooh.
I think that's how a lot of regular season hockey bettors are going into them also, because they're chasing home teams.
Yeah.
And you can see if you're chasing home teams, you're chasing the team whose number comes out at X.
Yeah.
And by the time they drop the puck, it's X plus whatever, because everyone betting the home team.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you consider the road team, not only are you getting a good, solid team away from distraction, but you're getting a team that opens at one number, and then by the time they drop the puck, you're getting a better price. And the bookmakers know they're going to get hit on the home team, but the price still keeps growing. And so that's from the hordes of public on the home team. And that's why if you read through my blog on hockey, I beg you, every single day's blog, wait till the last minute, because I give 2 or 3 bets. Well, the third bet isn't for 3 hours. You're not betting it now because we're betting road dogs mostly. You're going to bet it right before they drop the puck to get that extra 7 cents of profit. We squeeze every bit of penny out of profit that we can. And if we lose, we only lose a half a unit. We rarely bet more. I rarely bet 110 to win 10. I'll find a way to manipulate that.
Absolutely. So tonight, just to give you an idea, 2 games tonight.
Yep.
Stars are on the road in Minnesota. Right now, Dallas Stars are plus 102. Dogs going into this one on the road on the money line. And then Edmonton's at Anaheim tonight. Anaheim's actually the dog tonight at home, plus 110 for them at the home side. So that's just to give you an idea of what you're talking about on the line here going into these games tonight.
Right. So I would say in Dallas and Minnesota, it's Dallas is plus 102. It'll be more than that because the people hitting Dallas now are wise guys.
Yeah. So you're saying wait till the puck drops at 4 p.m. our time,
because he's running right to the home team. And the same thing with with Edmonton and Anaheim, the perception's going to be must win for Edmonton. That's very attractive money on Anaheim. Who is Anaheim got the 3-2 lead?
Yes.
Right, and they're home and they're getting plus money.
And Edmonton hasn't been playing well. That Draisaitl woke up last game, scored 2 goals, but I think a lot. That's what I was going to ask you here, because to me, Anaheim's the bet tonight for me on this, even though they are the home team because of the way Edmonton's played. But but I don't know. Hey,
Edmonton seems to play their best hockey with their back against the wall. That's how they got to Edmonton to lose this last game. So for me, it's Edmonton or pass tonight.
All right. So that's the difference.
And that would be a favorite, and that's why I'm going to wait and let that minus whatever, 125.
Minus 130 right now.
Yeah. I'm going to wait and see if I can get that to 116 or 120 and then look.
And go from that perspective. So good outing here for Lou. And I've been telling everybody, man, the Colorado Kings series was fun for us guys that love hockey. But for the general public, it probably would have been a boring series. Same thing with Carolina, Ottawa. But the series that are still going on, I'm telling people, even if you're not a giant hockey fan, you're missing out on some fun hockey right now in this round coming up here. To tune it in as well is what I'm telling everybody.
And most people will think that, oh my gosh, how great is it for Carolina and Colorado to have a week off in between series? And I'll tell you that in my experience, it's absolutely the worst thing could possibly happen. If we want to beat either of those two, the recipe would be for them to sweep their first round series, be on the shelf for 8 days before they play again, and then have to go against a team that either went to 6 or 7 and has their legs under them. Most people think, oh, no, that's ass backwards. You want the rested team. Yeah, I want the rested team if that series gets to Game 7. But in Game 1, I don't want them.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I was telling everybody earlier that the Colorado and Carolina, now they have Philly. I expect Carolina to kind of dominate that series, but Game 1 is the one you want to pay attention to if you want to,
That's
have
going to be
some
a
numbers
light,
there.
quick fighter against a big, heavy bruiser with power. That'll be a great series.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to watch there. And well, I tell you what, Lou, let's take our break here. College World Series is coming up. We'll talk more of that next week because we're getting into regional stuff out there. But we got to talk last week's UFC. We had a local kid fight, and Lou got the win. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a couple of other fights there, and then lead into Perth, Australia this week. Overnight fight for us here in the Americas. We'll talk about that. Come on back with Uncle Lou, the main event. back here. And don't forget, guys, we put these up. We put the whole shows up, of course, on YouTube, TME Media AZ. Rumble, it's on as well with that Real Matrix show there. We utilize that, rumble.com/user/TME Media. Free podcast system, but we always put Uncle Lou's segment up separate as well. There's an interview category for you if you just want to get, hey, no, I won't be insulted, folks. Just want to listen to Uncle Lou. Just interview section on there for you to watch and listen to as well out there. We put it out on social media as well for you to find it. We appreciate everybody that listens, especially everybody across the ponds here, right down in those South Asian and New Zealand and Australia here this weekend.
That's flattering, but real, I don't want to overlook all the locals.
No, of
and
course.
Regional, meaning United States, Canada folks that are good to us too. So thank you, everybody. I'm
actually surprised because Vegas has so much UFC knowledge and people talking in. I'm surprised we get so many people from Nevada and Las Vegas. We got to thank them as well. For that,
well,
but last week,
the thorough ones that do their research know where to get opinions
to go to, right?
Well, no, I don't. And I'm not saying they use everything I release, but I'm sure they listen to what I say, and then they walk away and say he's got something, or they walk away and say
or he's
washed up. One or the other.
I was telling you about that final fight last week where everybody was on the. We'll talk about it in a minute. But even I was like questioning, like you last week, like, oh, Lou, why is Lou the only one on this guy? It was pretty funny.
It's nervous when that happens because I know it. You can see it in the line movement. You know you're sitting there naked, and not only that, I promised I wouldn't bet the older guy, and Sterling was what 7 years the older guy. Everything felt wrong until round one rang, and then everything felt right.
Yeah, it was amazing to see. But, hey, sometimes you stick your neck out there, right, and look like the genius. But we had a couple MMA guys, MMA lab guys here in this fight. Jackson McVeigh was up against Dumas here. Performance of the night win as well for them. Ended up being a submission. First round, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Local kid McVeigh getting that win in this fight. Tell us about him.
Yeah, McVeigh's probably just a year and a half, 2 years at the lab, and he's come in and they've taken him under his wing, and he's become part of the family. And they do great cultivation. They have a great family there, but there's coaching and work going on, and he's always in the gym working with Jared Cannonier, who's now kind of the leader of the larger group of guys, Eric McCollum, who we'll talk about in a second. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they got, McVeigh was 0-2 in the UFC. He needed a win. You can't be 0-3 really. They give him this guy, and this other kid has been distracted because of all the trouble that he's been in. I'm not kidding. Yeah. The guy has been in tremendous trouble with all kinds of distractions. And so I don't want to say specifically what I know of what they were saying to this kid, but they were inciting this young man, McVeigh, telling him, you don't win this fight. So he was ready to go, and he showed that he was ready to go. And furthermore, his training partner and teammate, Eric McCollum, who fought this big, huge, muscle-bound Vieira from Brazil. Mm-hmm. I told you what was going to happen with him. He's going to look great in the first round, then he's going to get all swole up and slow down. McCollum had a very, very good fight, and the lab goes 2-0 on the UFC. I couldn't have been prouder for those kids, for my friend, the coach, and for the whole atmosphere. That was fun.
I don't know what McCollum closed at, but I had gotten him in there at plus 250 or 255, I believe, going into that for McCollum over Vieira there. McVeigh was the favorite in that fight, but not only did they win, though, for the local kids up there at MMA Lab, but, I mean, those were impressive fight wins for them as well. So, the MMA Lab is somebody that doesn't know anything about them, never been up there. I got to get up there with you one Saturday. But they're putting these fighters together right, if I can put them that way. There's no controversy. It's just they go out there. Even if they lose, they're going to be in these fights and battle it out.
Yeah, they're a renowned gym. If you're going to name 7 U.S. gyms, or I'll even go further and say 7 from across the world, MMA Lab's going to be one of those. So they have great company. He'd tell you that, I just like to, be mentioned with him. And, he's a very humble dude, and he's a father figure to these guys. He isn't that, rabid kind of a coach. And so as humble as he is, tells you how good they are, because that's the BJJ way.
Well, that tells you, they focus on the right things. They're not focusing on all the wrong things there. The more humble you are in these sports. I believe that 100%.
No, he's
so.
got and then Trayshawn Gore, remember him just a few weeks before, he goes into a fight plus 500 and beats the brakes out of this Russian, another MMA lab kid. So they're feeling some momentum this week. They have, I think, 4 or 5 guys fighting at Celebrity Theater tonight.
Oh, the fight night thing.
The fight night thing.
Whatever it's called.
Yes, Cinco de Mayo, I think is. And so they
it's not fight night, but yeah.
There's a big event, and there's, I think, 5 or 6 lab guys there. So, of course, the whole crew will be there, and that'll be fun.
Absolutely. The other fight I wanted to talk about last week there in the Meta Apex there in Las Vegas is the Sterling Zalal fight, the main card here. Like I said, I was joking around with you. You were on Sterling last week. You said you liked Sterling. Back then he was plus 105. I saw him at plus 115 at one point on Saturday. I don't know what he ended up at there.
We had 135 on the digital magazine because it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday, yeah. So that's why you got to listen to his Sneak Tea podcast and follow that stuff, folks.
Or just go to the webpage. I publish it there.
Absolutely. But everybody was on Zalal. I'm sitting there, and even the commentators are like, Zalal, 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 Zalal. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, what did Lou get me into on this one? There goes my $5. I was going to buy some nachos with it. Now I'm just wasted it. Sterling goes out there, unanimous decision, 5 rounds. Fantastic fight for him, Lou. And those ones got to feel great when everybody's against you, and you just take the chance.
The first thing Crouch taught me was that kryptonite to dynamic, elite, world-class BJJ is the American wrestler. The first thing he taught me, because I'm asking him, how do you build the correct fighter? And here's this BJJ 5th degree black belt under the Gracie family telling me that the reason is because the American wrestlers are grinding all the time, working their butt off, dropping weight, and they're mean as junkyard dogs. And the BJJ guys are so used to people rushing at them that they can submit them in 30 seconds. And if a fight gets dirty, they have a harder time competing, especially with a wrestler that ain't going anywhere. And so this wrestling thing is real. It was the determining factor in that handicap for me. And, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while, and you turn the page and move on to the next fight.
It's rare, though, that a fight's starting, and I'm like, oh, Lordy, what did I do? Why did I do that?
That's actually a feeling you want to have when you go into a fight.
And it was just kind of comical. Just thinking about how much you were hyping this kid, and because it's rare that you see that everybody, not focused. It was just Zalal. They wouldn't say negative stuff about him. It was just Zalal. And even I think when he was walking out, they were like, Zalal. And I was like, man, pay attention to this kid. But it's rare that happens, and so it's pretty funny.
It just rankled him more.
So this week, though, we go to Perth, Australia. As you said, 1 a.m. is the pre-card here. 4 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. our time is the main card coming up here as well. I'm going to catch a lot of this on the replay, I think, Lou, is what I'm going to be doing.
I totally get it. This is waking up at 2 in the morning to watch fights. That's above and beyond the Call of Duty. For many, I get it.
The 4 a.m. one actually would probably be better because I do get up that early during the week anyway, 4:30. But yeah, the 1 a.m. prelims, those will be replays.
What I do for the 4 a.m.er is because the Starbucks by me opens at 5. And so I'm just timing the fight, which fight it's going to be. And hopefully it's a woman's fight, so I can get my coffee and come back in quick time. But there's some interesting things about this fight card. 12 fights got burned down. 13 got burned to 12, and I think now we're back to 13. They found some stand-in for the guy. I'm not even talking about that fight.
You're talking about Ben Johnston and Wes Schultz,
no.
I'm assuming? Oh,
no, I'm not. I'm talking about another fight that came off, and I whited it out so I don't have
no
it.
worries.
But for the 12 I'm tracking, you got 12 Aussies fighting at home against people that have to get to Australia. Now, you either swim or you boat or you fly. And
those sound
most
exhausting.
people coming from Brazil or U.S. are flying. And so with flight, there's travel, bloating, weight cut issues potentially. And the Perth fighter comes from somewhere in Australia where there's way less travel circumstances. So in every fight, you got a Aussie against somebody that's traveling in. Then, if to make matters worse, you have 8 fights with 5-year difference or more, and there's only one 5-year difference. I mean, there's an 11, a 10,
Ooh.
a 9. You got and in many of those situations, 6 Aussies are at home fighting someone that has to come in to fight them that is older than them, well older, and they have to do the traveling. So there's some great advantage in the Aussie side here. We're going to have to hasten slowly with some of the underdogs that we may want to take, especially understanding last week that underdogs went ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 6, or 8 and 4.
Wow, underdogs. Wow.
And I'll tell you also, when that happens, I should kill that card, and I didn't. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but it is what it is. Anyway, back to the advantage in this card. The younger Aussie guy at home, check his price. He's probably minus 1,000, but we might want to be aware that those are fights that have tremendous advantage attached to them. Of the 12 fights, 7 are at 170 pounds or more. So they're giving these Aussies, big men going in there to club each other. It should be really, for those that are going to stay up and watch, it's going to be a good fight card.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love the bigger fight, guys. And I don't mean to be doing the lightweights and the flyweights, but the bigger guys, I just enjoy those a little bit more with the power they got. So on the prelims, I'm obviously, I'm not interested in it, but I'm going to skip a couple here and go straight to this, then we'll go back. But the Jacob Malkoun and Gerald Meerschaert here battling this out. I like Meerschaert here, not in this fight. I just like him as a fighter. I always pay attention to him. But he's one of those guys that's an 1,100 dog here. I mean, 700 dog for him, 1,100 for Malkoun. Anything to pay attention to in this fight with the guy that I generally like fighting? I mean, obviously he's being set up.
Yeah, we want to pay attention to where the stretcher and the ambulance is because Malkoun, this is going to look more competitive really than it is.
Okay.
Meerschaert's really got a balsa wood beak. I mean, but he's the definition of mama's porcelain chin. And he's lost his last 4 maybe, and it's all by knockout. And Malkoun is a short, squat, little powerful wrestler that has some hands. This is totally a setup fight for Malkoun, who opens minus 600. Now he's minus
1,100.
Yeah. I mean, even Malkoun KO isn't worth it. This is just a fight you hope Meerschaert
That's
doesn't
all I'm
get
asking.
hurt in.
That's all I'm asking. Can he extend this out? Over under is 2.5. One is 160 to the end. That's all I'm asking. Does he have the ability to stretch this fight out a little bit, make it a little bit exciting type of a thing? Is my main question.
If Malkoun wrestles him up.
That's the only way to do it. All
well,
right.
but then if Malkoun gets top position, starts dropping elbows again,
Yeah.
If that fight's 2.5, I have minus 175 to the under though.
I have minus 180 to the under. Did I say something? I'm sorry.
No.
2.5 minus 180 to the under.
Yeah, that should be minus 480 to the under. I think.
Yes, it sounds like it. Right?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was all the question I had there was, can this be stretched into a fight, or is this going to be as fast as they say it's going to be? And the other prelims, Lou, I'm going to leave it up to you here. Let me know, because you said there's a bunch that, there's a few that you want to pay attention into this fight as well. So tell us which ones. If we're staying up till 1 in the morning or waking up at 1 in the morning to watch these prelims, what are we paying attention to?
Well, I'd have you wake up although this one's kind of early. This is the second fight of the night, and it's an Aussie McCollum, 27 years old against 35-year-old Gorimbo, coming in, a Zimbabwe fighter, but he's fights out of the U.S. Gorimbo, unfortunately, has a history of getting subbed, and they put him in with his Australian McCallum. You know what he does? He subs guys out. So kind of a setup fight, it looks. McCallum, younger by 8 years, huge advantage. Opens minus 150. Now he's what?
Minus 245.
Minus 245. So they're betting him. He's
Australians.
earned his position here. But let me just say, Gorimbo is no slouch. And we're going to learn a lot about how well he can protect himself, because if he can keep this standing, he's not out of the fight at that huge price. That totaled 2.5.
Yeah, minus 135 to the under.
To the under, yeah. That's a tough one. Normally, I'd be looking for Garimbo because I like the price advantage on him, but in Australia against a submission guy might not be the right call pass. So then let's go to the other one. This one's 185. Roston is the Australian against Bryzik from Poland. Now, Bryzik from Poland ain't too bad. He's 4 years the older guy. That's not killer. But Roston's 3 inches taller, has a 3-inch reach advantage, and Roston's what, minus 275?
Minus 170 right now.
Wow.
DraftKings, yeah.
Okay,
Minus
so
170.
Roston opens minus 300, and so that means there's money coming in on the Polish fighter.
Absolutely, a lot of money. He's plus 142 right now.
I don't know about a lot of money, but enough
No,
money to
enough
move
to
it
move
that
it.
far. And the bottom line is, I think I agree with that money. I think this Bryzik is durable and tough, and Roston in his last, we had him. He give me a little heart palpitation there. So let's see. Bryzik is a potential target in this fight card.
Over under on this one's 2.5 also, minus 180 to the under in this one as well. Does that mean Brycek, they're expecting Rouston to come in and knock him out or do something to that effect? Or so
Maybe
Brycek has
I'd
to
ha-
avoid that?
Maybe I'd
Does he
have
have
to
that
see
power?
what Bryzik's history of being knocked out is, but Roston didn't strike me as having an overabundance of power. To me, I like the over there based on that.
Okay, over 2.5 there.
Yeah.
Plus 140, excuse me.
So
right now, just so everybody
fight
knows.
starts 3, you might get even money, and that's where I'd go with that. Just get 10 minutes under your belt.
Let me ask you this really quick on the betting. Is this being driven up by the wise guys early in the week, or is the Australian fan base running this up early?
Yeah,
in the week?
usually in these fight cards, these numbers all go towards the hometown guy early and heavy from the local action over there.
So now doesn't mean it necessarily slides back the other way, but you potential to see a swing back closer to the fight from everybody else starting to pay attention around the world? Or no?
I mean, really, as we get closer to the fight, the public's going to jump in.
Yeah.
So it's really from Sunday night to now what we're seeing.
Okay.
And that's some people that are jumping on the Aussie because he's younger, doesn't have to travel, and is the favored fighter. And that accounts for some of that price range. Dog players like me, I have nothing in this card set out except for into Della Maddalena, and we'll get to that. So I'm really going to sit back and try and find 1 or 2 positions where I can take a guy plus points with some advantage, or take an underdog. And Bryzik might be one.
So are you weigh-ins are tonight at 6 p.m. When will the sneak peek come out?
No, you mean
after
the
that?
Bout
I'm sorry, the
Business.
Bout Business. After
Yeah,
the
tomorrow
sorry.
morning early. I'll
So
do
it's still
that.
early
Yeah,
tomorrow,
I'll
yeah.
give myself plenty of time.
Is this something where you're going to be paying really close attention to where I'm not saying they're going to, but if an Australian guy struggles to cut weight but his opponent doesn't, something you'll be paying attention to or something to that effect?
That's what I pay attention.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Everything that happens during weigh-ins, I pay attention to.
But it'd be more alarming. What I'm asking is, it would be
No,
more
I
alarming
don't-
for an
I
Australian guy
don't
not to
predict
hit
that.
weight.
I wait and see what happens and see.
Yeah, I
What
know.
I'm looking for is the guy that comes in.
Lou, I'm asking you to give me something here.
Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm looking for the guy that comes in 10 minutes after weigh-ins and misses by 3 pounds. That's your cheater. And I want to make sure I understand what fight that
Yeah,
is.
okay.
Consequently, it doesn't hurt me to wait until the last gal or guy comes out and weighs on the scale, and they're kind of wobbly, and you can see they worked there. They're a professional. They worked hard to make the weight, and they come within a half a pound, or they barely make it, and then they wobble off. Now, there's a person that's a professional, but they just got done fighting an airplane trip and a weight cut, and they're fighting against a guy been drinking orange juice, eating bananas for an hour and a half. That's advantage. That's why I watch.
Absolutely. So let's get into the main card here. First one up's a heavyweight bout right off the bat. Ty
And Louis.
and
Tui and
Louis
Louis.
Sutherland. I can say Sutherland.
Tai
though, so.
Tuivasa.
Yes, a heavyweight battle here. Australia, England fight going into this right now. Ty is a 218 favorite going into this fight. Over under, and this is 1.5 minus 130 to the over here for these heavyweights.
Yeah, I mean, Tuivasa has been in and out of the UFC. He doesn't train. he wants to train, but he can't. You don't just decide 5 months before a fight you're gonna. You either live the lifestyle or you don't. And this is the guy that does the shoeies and pours the beer in the shoe and drinks.
Oh,
it.
this is him.
So,
Okay.
so let me just start off by saying that's this guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
right.
he's fighting this guy named Louis Sutherland, who's basically a punching bag from England. But he's big, he's strong, he's got some wrestling, and if he takes Ty down, he's got every shot in this fight. Here is one where Uncle Louis might like Louis a little bit here. And he's an underdog of only, plus 140?
Right now, he is plus 180.
Plus 180. There's one we're going to be real quiet about and maybe take a look at Louis in that one against Tui.
Perfect. And then you've got Shamil Gaziev and Brando Persic here, Australian Bahrain fighters battling out another heavyweight fight, 2 in a row.
Yeah, this is Persic is an Austrian who fights out of City Kickboxing in New Zealand. Gaziev's a Russian. Gaziev has the experience, been in with better. The other kid's a little taller, longer, looks the part a little bit more. Gaziev can run out of gas. This is going to be a very, very interesting fight. And at this, right now, Perisic is minus
142.
So the take back on Gaziev plus 115,
Plus
120.
Mm-hmm.
Gaziev maybe. We'll see. He's slow. He's plodding. He's got a big gut. No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Gaziev. I'm talking about Gaziev.
Why are you insulting me over here? Jeez, I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, I'm talking about Gaziev. So we'll see. Gaziev could be a dog spot.
All of a sudden, I've been insulted. Then you got Rohiki against Ollie Schmidt
Pass.
here.
That's the fight.
That's what I was wondering there because I see the picture now of just a blank thing there. Featherweight bout there. So maybe that's your Starbucks run for that. Then we go to a flyweight fight. Tim Elliott and Steve Ursig here battling it out. A big favorite here for the Australian Ursig coming into this fight.
Yeah, he started just a moderate favorite. And, he's bigger and he's 9 years the younger man. And Elliott, the 39-year-old, coming in off 2 great wins. And his last fight was like August of 25, okay?
Yeah.
And he went in for a broken leg and blood clot operation between that last fight and now. As a 39-year-old fighting at 25 pounds, and he's taking on a 30-year-old Ursig from Australia that needs the fight and is an Australian and has a total line 2.5 over minus $6 billion.
Minus 245 over 2.5 right now.
I mean, normally Elliott would be live as all get out, but the reason the money's coming to Ursig is because the Elliott injury, and I think you're just asking an awful lot out of Elliott this soon.
Yeah, and he hasn't fought since UFC 319 last August.
Last August,
August
last
18th.
August, and it's now what?
Yeah,
May.
it's almost.
So
Yeah,
that's 7-8 months
Yeah.
for a broken leg and a blood clot. Do the math.
yeah.
And the math says Ursig.
And then next up we got Benil Dariush and Salkilo. Is that a D or no there? Australian and United States.
Saul killed. 10 years
Okay,
the younger man, tall, long, total submission guy. Has some power and from the, can stand up, has some athleticism. Again, 10 years the younger guy, taller, longer. Dariush, all the experience, world-class fighter. Dariush going to want to try and grapple with this kid and school him. And if he grapples with him and gets him against the fence or on the floor, he will school him. Saul Killed may be willing to take the fight to the floor. Where his advantage lies is in space and to try and hit Dariush. Because unfortunately, Dariush's chin looks like brittle porcelain from your Nana's China chest compared to the chin that the Mearshart has. So between Mearshart and Dariush, great grapplers, world class, but they can't afford to get hit. That's a tough business to be in when you're in against guys like this. In Mearshart's case, the guy's sawed off and going to be swinging upward at his chin. And in the case of Salkild, he's going to be the taller, longer guy, going to be able to have total leverage over Dariush, who must get inside to have success.
Yeah, he's minus 455 to the favorite. Salkild is. What did he open at, Chance? Does that run his way?
250.
Yeah, so it's really run his way as well. That's the co-main event there, lightweight bout. Then we go to a welterweight bout here to wrap up this fight here. Madalena and Pratis.
What a great fight this is going to be. Pratis has earned this position. He's long. He's lean. He has really bad intentions. He's fast as lightning. He's precise with his kicks, knees, shots, elbows. Uses a lot of unorthodox movement. But he's young. He's enamored with life. He chain smokes, and he's a party boy. And those are the facts. And up until now, he's been able to do both without too much repercussion. So he does and flaunts it that he does both. Meanwhile, on the other side, you got this Jack Madalena, who earned the championship against Bilal Muhammad, then had to fight Makhachev, lost in decisive fashion. But Makhachev rubbed him all over the canvas with wrestling. The good news here with Pratis is Pratis ain't wrestling nobody. This is going to be a stand-up fight. And while Pratis is longer, leaner, and a little taller, Della Madalena's been in with better. He's probably the slicker striker. He's going to have to work his way into the pocket, in my opinion. This fight is built around Madalena taking this fight to the beginning of round 4. If this fight sees the bell to round 4, I think no matter what happens previous to that, from 4 on, I think it'll be a relatively one-sided fight towards the professional fighter in Madalena. And by that, I mean the guy that's not smoking and drinking, the ex-champion focused on having a great performance. While I think Pratis, as a young Brazilian up-and-coming, might be making young man mistakes.
And Pratis is a 122 favorite right now over the Australian. The Australian's a plus 102.
Plus 102. We have Jack Della Madalena in the second leg of parlays to 2 other fighters earlier. And so I think we have something like 1.6 units on Madalena to win 3 point something. So we're way ahead of the game on Madalena, but we're already committed to him at a great price. But to me, if I'm walking into this fight right now, and Madalena is an Aussie from Australia, the ex-champion, has championship fight experience, taking on a guy from Brazil, has to fly in. I like the advantages and the fight advantages and the logistic advantages Madalena has.
I mean, if I was analyzing this like I do on stuff, and usually it means nothing, but there hasn't been a big run up on Madalena here like there has been on the other Australian fighters.
Well, there has, because Pratis opened minus 175.
Oh, yeah, you're
so
right.
from 175 down to minus 120 means that we saw some Jack Della Madalena action.
All right, perfect. That's the main
we caught
card.
him at minus 105. So, I mean, I would have been better rate until now. So, no problem jumping plus 102 or plus 100.
And that fight's going to go off Saturday morning, 6:15 a.m., Lou.
Oh, baby, that'll be great.
Hey, don't miss it, Lou says as well, for this fight. So, Perth, generally these Australian fights are a lot of fun. We have to experience it like they do over there. Usually they accommodate our viewing pleasure. They're not doing that this time here, but
and good for the Perth people that get to go prime time in it. I love it.
Absolutely. So, Lou, anything else on UFC you want to add for this week?
No more UFC action. Let's have fun with hockey, UFC, Kentucky Derby. Remember, keep it fun and simple. We're just having fun. So,
by the way, the next fight up there is the one from New Jersey. That's the
Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, Strickland and
Chimaev.
Chimaev. Thank you. For that one in that UFC numbered fight there. I don't remember what number.
That'll be
it
a
is.
fun one.
But that'll be a fun one to talk. We'll talk that next week, Lou. Sounds
Thanks,
like a plan.
everybody.
We'll be into the second round of the NHL playoffs next week as well, so that'll be a good time as well. And I'm kind of rooting for a bunch of Game 7s as somebody without rooting interest on the NHL. I want to see a bunch of these series in this first round go to 7, so I'm rooting for that coming up.
Me
But
too.
when we come back, of course, we'll be back tomorrow, I should say, 8 to 10. Dale will join us all show tomorrow after he's been gone all week and joined us for just 30 minutes today. So we'll get caught up on everything. Of course, the segment, What Happened to Steve this week, coming up as well. We'll talk about that. Come on back, folks. We'll see you then. McCollum on business. I'm sorry, the main event, whatever show this is. See you later.
No, McCollum on business.